My name is Jordan Saglio, and I'm 26 years old.
My name is Kaylee Dubois, and I am 23 years old.
2 years, 11 months, and 5 days ago, I was opening a brand new restaurant called Not Your Average Joe's.
2 years, 11 months, and 5 days ago, I needed a job. So I applied at a brand new restaurant called Not Your Average Joe's.
I had to interview over 1,000 people, and I hired 140. And we had to take pictures of every person we hired, but there was one person's picture that I just looked at all the time.
I got hired, worked there for a month, and it was okay. The drive was too long.
But unfortunately, that girl quit, and I never saw her again.
3 months later, I was at a tailgate with my friends.
Until 3 months later, when I saw her sitting on top of a pickup truck.
And I saw my old manager walking up to me.
And it took me over an hour just to build up the courage to go say hi to her.
It was the most awkward encounter, but for some reason I felt inclined to invite him over for dinner next week.
I couldn't believe that at a tailgate with over 20,000 people, I found her. And I'm not one to believe in fate, but in this instance, it's hard to believe that it wasn't.
Spending time together felt so natural.
I loved everything about this girl.
And before you knew it, we were celebrating our first anniversary.
Months passed by, and before we knew it, we were booking our first vacation together to Costa Rica.
I booked a trip to Costa Rica to do my yoga teacher training and invited Jordan to come along with me.
Something weird happened to me on that trip, and I decided I needed to make some life changes.
That place changed me, and I knew there was no way I could go back to the way that I was living my life.
I wanted to leave everything behind, my house, my car, all my possessions, and just travel for as long as I possibly could.
Jordan was paying off his house in downtown Boston, and I was working at an amazing job at an organic spa in the city.
I kept thinking about quitting my job, but I was so scared to give it all up.
I remember the morning of May 24th.
It was the best day of my life.
Jordan jokingly said to me, "Maybe today is the day I get laid off."
And Kaylee said,
I would pray to the universe, and he laughed as he walked out the door.
"You may not believe this, but that day, I got laid off."
So I was just told that my position is being removed, that there's going to be a redistribution of resources, and today is my last day with the company.
That shiz was definitely fate.
24 hours later, we bought a bus
We wanted to build it into a tiny home.
and travel for as long and far as we possibly could.
We started building, but had absolutely no idea what we were doing.
But we decided to start filming the build so we could share it with our family and friends.
And when the bus was complete on August 1st, we had 10,000 strangers on YouTube following this journey.
It blew our minds, but we absolutely loved making videos, so we just kept doing it.
We planned on traveling for 6 months, but after 2, I was ready to come home.
Kaylee's anxiety was getting the best of her, and I remember sitting on Sunset Cliffs in San Diego, looking at plane tickets back to Boston.
I decided to stick it out 1 more week and work on the mental struggles that were holding me back.
But she kept waking up in the middle of the night, and she was worried that her heart was going to stop at any second.
Deep down, I knew that it was anxiety, but my mind kept telling me that it was something much worse.
We started working on it together every single day.
With yoga and meditation,
And exercise and affirmations.
1 week turned into 1 month, and 1 month turned into 6. And before we knew it, we were hopping on a plane to Europe.
By this point, I was absolutely in love with videography, and I really wanted to make videos that mattered.
We wanted to make videos that were different, videos that no one had ever done before.
Videos that made people think and challenged the status quo.
These videos weren't to grow our popularity, but to challenge our creativity and give a much deeper purpose to our traveling.
We wanted to bring awareness to homelessness and mental health.
We wanted to expose international tragedies and unfairness within the YouTube community.
We knew the success wouldn't show up in the numbers.
But with the attention of thousands, we couldn't see ourselves not trying to make a difference.
And now as we stand here, preparing for our drive to Alaska,
Which is our biggest adventure yet.
I look back on every moment of every day, and it was spent with you by my side.
Together, we lived in 90 square feet for the past year. And this was something that was only supposed to be a 6-month road trip.
And it has turned into a life with more happiness than I ever thought possible.
I never felt more excited for what the future holds than I do right now.
I have a question
Okay.
that I've wanted to ask you for a long time.
Nuh-uh, dude. No freaking way, dude.
Can I tie your shoe? It's been untied all night.
Sure.
Put it up here.